Hey you guys, this is Orsi and this is going to be an update about last year and a half, I guess. That was the last time that I filmed any This Happened video. I had to switch around because there is something wrong with the microphone for the front camera on my iPad. Unfortunately, it still makes a weird noise. So the quality on this way should be better, but you know, I don't see myself, so I have no idea if I'm in frame or anything like that, but you know, wish me luck. So, if you're with me since that long, so you kind of know what I was going through back then, but there's a lot of new people who might be interested. If you're not interested in, you know, life update videos, feel free to skip this one. I'm not gonna hold it against you, obviously. You know, we watch what we have time to watch or what we want to watch, and I'm not getting buttered about someone not listening to anything that I want to say at any point or time. That's just, you know, preface things. But the last time that I talked about what was going on, I still try to just talk about the more positive stuff in the This Happened one, and I know I posted separately about my almost mental breakdown, which happened, yeah, like a year and a half ago, which was fun. And, you know, as soon as I started getting over that one, the war broke, you know, in Ukraine. And I don't know why I thought that it's gonna just finish within like a week and it's not gonna be still like going after so long. I guess it was incredibly naive of me to think that something so incredibly horrible wouldn't last, but it lasted and it still is ongoing. And you know, after a while you shut things out so you can function. At least that's what I do. I know it's not the most major way to handle problems, but for my own sanity, I don't watch the news. I don't keep up with what they are doing because it only terrifies me to death. So, and I can't help, you know, it's not like I can change anything. The only thing that I can change is whether I'm sleeping at night or not, and you know, whether I'm going crazy with fear or not. So I'm choosing myself in this regard, so I don't keep up with the news. As in, you know, I'm in a privileged position to do so because I know that, you know, I have family members who do, and if, you know, there's something really big bad happening, I will know, or if finally there's something good, I will know that. But one of the things that was also part of that second, I'm not gonna call it a mental breakdown because that was separate and that was a completely different one. But when everything started with this one, like with the war and the things surrounding that period, I unfortunately went back to, you know, using sleeping pills again, which I was able just to stop a few like weeks before it happened. So that was really tough to be dependent on that again, but I had to, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to function. But it took me a year and a half to get clean, I guess I would say that, because it's not an addiction in a way that, you know, I enjoy taking it, and I never understood how can you get hooked on sleeping pills. Like what's the good thing you're getting out of it? I always thought that, you know, it's like you can only get addicted to something that gives you a high in a way. But I realized that maybe addiction is not the right word. I don't know. Like dependency for sure. My body was dependent on me taking this pill in such a huge way that it was really hard to get rid of it. And what I mean by it, that my brain and body couldn't actually shut down because it was so used to not being forced to go through the steps that your body needs to go through in order for you to fall asleep. This is something that I also, you know, always took for granted that I will be able to fall asleep. And then I realized that nope, it's also something that you have to, you know, pay attention to and just work with your body. And you can really mess it up if, you know, if you take something into the picture and you're not careful with it. And okay, I'm not gonna say that it's not my fault, because obviously I took it, but no one really told me how addictive this stuff can be. And I never read the what's called, you know, like all the stuff that you get with drugs, like the possible side effects and stuff, because ever since I was sick, if I read a side effect, my brain is just gonna, you know, like manifest those. So I'm a little hypochondriac that way, so I know that I can't read side effects because I will have them. It's just something that, you know, happens. So I don't read them. But, you know, if you read the, what is it, like information, it says that you're only supposed to take this one for a week at one time, or like a week and a half, because it can, you know, like cause dependency. And I was like, oh, would have been nice that I was told. And then my mom, when I told her that I didn't know, she kind of looked at me funny, like, but, you know, like, how do you not know that you can get, you know, used to taking this or get hooked on it? And I was like, maybe, like I said, I can be incredibly naive, you know, about certain things. And I kind of didn't assume that it would be that strong. But I managed to stop taking it about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe. I think it's around that time, 2 or 3 weeks now, which is amazing. I mean, I still... I'm not gonna say I still, you know, like I sleep amazingly, but at least I know that I'm sleeping so much better than before. So that's already something that I managed to fix, which is a, you know, like a positive thing. And I'm trying to remember that there's a lot of positive things that happened in the past year and a half, but also it's very true that, you know, last year was the lovers, and there was a lot of choices that I made. And according to those choices, a lot of things started to move in the chariot year. But it also means that I'm still in this, how to say, I kind of feel like it's a mini death position to be in. There's a lot of transitions, a lot of changes still. And, you know, the death card is, those changes are big, those are slow, needed, and the side effects of it can be ugly. And even if I know that, you know, things are changing for the better, because I do believe that they are changing for the better, it's still not an easy thing to go through. And if you know me at least a little, you know how much I hate change. But I think I'm getting better. I very much focused on working with the idea of letting go of control and trust the universe, the higher ups, whatever, you know, life, that I'm gonna be put in a place and position which is the best for me. So I think I'm handling changes much better. I'm not saying I'm handling them amazingly, because that would be a lie, but I'm not as bad as I was a few years ago. And one of the big changes that happened was, you know, related to my job. Because when I started I went back to the library about a month ago, but when I started the previous one, it was just really bad first 2 days. So I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here, because it was just so stressful. And my idea was getting away from the library, or not going back to there, because it's stressful there. But, you know, in that moment, or in those first few days, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask if there's a position in the library, because what's the point? Okay, I can earn more, but I will have to travel to a different city, so it takes more time. And if it's the same stress, then what's the point, you know? And at least I would do something in the library that I like. You know, that was the position where I was in. And that's not a lie, I was there, you know, in that moment when I talked to my librarian boss, and she told me that, yes, of course, there's gonna be someone retiring in June next year. and you know, she would be happy to have me back. That option, you know, knowing that I have somewhere else to go, that I don't have to stay in an environment that I don't want to be in, helped me ease up about it and helped me handle things better. And of course, after a few months, you know, I got used to it, and things changed. There was a lot of change, personnel wise, in the office, and things got better in a way. So by the time that I had to leave, I was like, but I don't want to leave. I actually like the job because, you know, it was a Monday to Friday. Yes, it was tiring to travel, but I was able to read. And yeah, I earned more money than I did before, and that was nice. You know, you can get used to living a little better really quickly. So, you know, I was sad to leave, but I was like, okay, I made a promise, and you know, I know that they're counting on me, and I want to be a librarian, and that didn't go away. The first 2 weeks back in the library was really tough, but I was told, you know, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna make any rash decisions and just go back because I can. I'm gonna wait it out because, you know, one of the things that I told myself when I decided to go back is that I was sure enough that I can handle my boss's things. And I think that's true. And, you know, I Googled how to deal with narcissist bosses, and I'm following those steps, and they are helpful. But it's really hard to see how other people get treated like really shitty. There's already 2 people, one who will be forced to leave because her health is just not handling all this, and I'm sure she's not going to be able to stay on for much longer, even though she would like to because she needs the money, but nope. And the other one is someone that I didn't work with previously when I worked in the library, but you know, she shares my name, so that's kind of cool. But you know, I can see that she's a good what is it called? She knows what she has to do. She worked in the library before. She was actually the boss in the library, so she knows a lot about the organization part of things. But she's ending, you know, like her reaching the end of her rope, or however to say. So she's gonna leave within a few months for sure as well. Which means we're going to be understaffed again, even more so than we are now. And I'm already spending too much time doing one particular job, which is very, very tiring. So coming back to this job, the supposed positives elements were not there as I expected them to be. I mean that I would have more time for myself, because I don't have to travel, because even though I don't travel, I'm more tired physically and mentally than I was before. Plus my shifts are all over the place, these days mostly from 9 till 5, but it's because on 2 days we're, you know, the library is open in a summer schedule, with a summer schedule, so we're not open till 7. But on Tuesdays, for example, no, not Tuesdays, Thursdays, I'm from 11 till 7, I'm closing, which means I don't leave before 7:20. And I spend pretty much all 8 hours in dealing with, you know, readers and doing that part, like getting the books, looking for the books, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of things that you have to do. And I know that for people who don't work in a library, it might sound like, you know, it's not a hard or demanding job, but you have to pay attention to a lot of things. You have to concentrate, and to keep that concentration up for 8 hours, it's a lot, because, you know, we don't have anyone else to, you know, just do that part of the job for different reasons. But yeah, whatever. There's no point of, you know, getting into too much detail about it, because it's not gonna change. The fact is that I'm expected to do that, and, you know, I don't mind, but it's tiring. And I kind of miss the Monday to Friday option because, you know, at least once a month I have to do Saturday as well, which wouldn't be that bad if only it wouldn't accumulate more hours that I will have to, you know, work off later, because on Saturday the library is only open for 5.5, or not open, but we only work for 5.5 hours, not 8. So that missing 2.5 is something that you have to, you know, do on other days when you're doing an 8-hour shift already. So it's either a 9-hour shift or a 2-hour shift, so that you have your hours. And because you do the Saturdays, you get a free day, but it's not a free day, it's just a Saturday moved to a different day. But that also means that on the day that when you're free, you can't work, which means 8-hour minus, which you will have to somewhere get back. So, you know, doing Saturday, which is already an extra thing, and, you know, it can be hard to work 6 days in a row. You end up with 10.5 hours minus. And that sucks. And there are some people in the library who refuse to do Saturdays because they can. So yeah, these are the things that I'm not really entirely happy with. And I don't know if I want to be happy in the next at least 8 years, because that's when my boss is going to retire. So for 8 years, nothing's gonna change. It's gonna be like this. So I don't know, you know, I don't want to lose the option to be a librarian, but I also don't have the required, what is it called, certification for it, because what I did was, when I was doing university, I had a major, I majored in Korean studies, culture, blah, blah, but I had a minor in library and science. I think that's the English name. So I was able to come, you know, like work here because my boss knew that, you know, I studied things. So I knew the theoretical part of everything. I didn't have to do the practical side of things, but I knew a lot. So it wasn't like learning it from, you know, like the ground zero. I had knowledge that I could use, but it's still not that it's not official. So I will need to get some papers, and the library wants me to do a course that's like a basic level, and I'm already getting paid in the higher you know, level, which is nice. But if I do that and I stay in the library and they are paying for it, it means that I will have to stay for a double amount of time the course lasts. And, you know, that's okay, that's like 3 years altogether. But, you know, 3 years, it's already long. And the other thing is that I would like to have a master's degree, actually, because that would be the required certificate so that I could work in any of the libraries in Hungary. And obviously that's a lot more options than just, you know, working here or maybe some other libraries, because most libraries want that degree, obviously. So I'm looking into checking if I can even, you know, do the master's degree. There's gonna be I don't know how it is in other countries, but you know, people here apply, and then in 3 days from now, when I'm, you know, recording this, and a day before you're seeing this video, actually, there's gonna be the point, like the points, which the required points that you have to reach in order to get admitted, whatever, into the, you know, like masters, whatever. It's gonna be announced. So I want to see how it was for last year, because if it's not too high, that if I can have a chance to actually you know, get accepted to the course, then I will talk to my previous boss, you know, the Korean company boss, because my friend is also doing university while working, so she thinks that he would say yes, that I could just, you know, I want to do the course first, because I think that would either earn me extra credits, so I would have to do less in the during the university, or if not, at least I have that, and I'm not losing the option to do it if I don't stay in the library. But I'm also not entirely sure if it's worth going away if I can't do university, because I'm absolutely sure that the local government won't have the money to like finance the university course, even though there's an option to be admitted with in a way where you don't have to pay for it, because you know you have enough points and there's not enough like people who wants to get into the course, so there's a chance that I don't have to pay for it. But I don't know if that would mean, maybe that would mean that I could do it while staying in the library, and maybe that would make more sense. So I'm honestly not sure what I want to do. I don't want to like make a rash decision for sure, but in order to be able to talk to options, I will have to be honest about, you know, my intentions with both of my bosses, and that's not something that I'm looking forward to do. But yeah, so 3 days from now I will see the, you know, how many points is required, because I don't have anything extra. I only have like 2 extra points that I can get, and there's 75 that you can get if you get all the points for the entry level, whatever you have to do. But I didn't do anything that I can get extra points for. You can get a total of 100. So if it's like 77, which was a few years back, I could get it, but that would mean that I would need to ace the entry, you know, like things, and I'm not sure I'm like I could do it. I have no idea if I could do that, because I can't get any extra points for other things. So I want to see, you know, what was the point for this year, to see if, you know, if it's even something that I can go after. Because if not, then maybe the smarter decision is to stay in the library, because at least I will have a job here for 8 years for sure, if I can handle it. And who knows after what happens, but you know, if you work somewhere and they are like happy with you for 8 years, I think it's good. That's a good thing. So yeah, next week is gonna be fun, deciding again life-altering decisions. But yeah, you know, this is life. But like I said, I think I'm better at this, like allowing the non-security of the situation to play out, because I'm working with these feelings, these energies for a while now. I think I kind of forgot, but I think the word that I chose for this year was trust. Or if it wasn't for this year, then it was for last year. But I know that I chose something as the year of word of the year that was in connection with the one that I had last year. So I will have to go back and watch. I think it was Gerald's live, but I said to people in the comments during the live stream, because I honestly, I'm sure I made a note somewhere, but I cannot find it, so it's fun. I will have to be better organized about where I keep my notes, because there's something about tarot notes this year that I'm not entirely sure why, but I keep not finding them, which leads into the Wildwood study, which I talked about previously. If you watch this, you know, just in short, that I stopped the study because I lost my notes, and I barely ever do that. I have no idea where it can be. But also it was the health things again. Like I was very much struggling with stopping the sleeping pill, and I'm so happy that I managed to do it. and I hope I can, you know, stay away from it. But, you know, I don't know why not having those notes and the thought of going back and redo it, it was just too much. So yeah, I know what would study for now. I think it's gonna be one of the decks for autumn. And then the other thing is that I really feel out of loop about new decks. Ever since Book Depository closed down, I lost the option to just mindlessly scroll through the new decks, the popular decks, what's to see, you know, what's to expect that would come out section. And I know I still have, you know, Amazon's new releases like site bookmarked, but on Book Depository it was just so easy because I knew that, hey, this was available, I can get it if I want to, I can see the price, I can decide if I want a new deck or not. And I saw the decks and I really missed that, but I still haven't figured out where I want to order decks from. I know Libristo is an option, but and I haven't had time to check it out again. But I remember that when I was still working in the office in the other company, that I checked one day and I looked for tarot decks and nothing came out for the search. So I don't know if it was just a bug or it wasn't available on that day or something that's changed. So I don't even know if it's, you know, like still an option. And there's supposed to be an English site which you can order from without paying VAT. Like that was what people said. It's you know how it works, but I haven't looked into if that's true or not. And I think I was just so used to being able to just use Book Depository that I never imagined that I won't have that option, that I'm kind of exhausted by the whole aspect of finding a new place. So I'm kind of in denial about the whole thing and I'm just not looking for decks. Which you could say that, oh, it's nice, you're not spending money on it. And that's true, but also I miss having the option to decide if I want something or not, you know, and I don't want to miss out on things, but I don't know. It's still it's fun to just sometimes, you know, like window shop for decks. So I need a site where I can just do that. So yeah, please, if you have recommendation for, you know, for the EU, where you order, if it's, you know, free of additional charges and it's reliable, please just let me know, because, you know, I need options. Okay, so yeah, absolutely have no idea about decks. I still haven't done a lot about promoting the Zombie Oracle, which is stupid because I spent so much money on ordering them and I was just so excited, and I don't know why. I don't know how to, like, I know I'm not a marketing person, you know, I'm not very good at like pushing myself in, even if I believe that the deck is great, because I do believe it. But I still need to figure out how to, like, I have to like make a plan about where to talk about, how to promote it, where to talk about it, so it's not too pushy, but it gets into people's like views, or, you know, like whatever it's called, side. That's what I was you know, meant to say. Because what's the point having a bunch of decks here in a box if, you know, I'm not selling them? That was the whole point, so that people can get it from me, so I can, you know, just be a part of that experience. Plus I wanted this size, and this size is so much better than the big one, at least for me, because, you know, I have small hands. So yeah, I would like to do it, and I have a box for it and everything, so it's still exciting, but I always feel like, oh, I will do it, you know, next weekend, and the next weekend comes around and I'm just like, oh damn, it's Sunday evening and I didn't do anything. But it's on my list, so, you know, because it's already almost August, and, you know, people buy Halloween decks starting early from August. But yeah, I'm still not a marketing person, so I don't know, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was, I don't know. Okay, but looking at my notes, what else did I want to talk about? think this is, I mean, there are some things that happened or still happening, but I'm not ready to talk about yet. So these are good things. But, you know, I think the big one is that me not being around is, which I forgot to say, I think, is even though I have my job at the library now, I still do help out in my old job. So I have to, like, a side thing. So I work more than 8 hours a day because when I have something to do, I work after hours. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not really present in live streams, because I'm either still working when they are happening or I'm just too tired, to be honest, to be able to actually participate in a conversation. And there's not, I mean, I try, sometimes I just, you know, at least I just go and say hi so people know that I'm there, but I know I disappeared from the community for a while now. But I think, you know, that's gonna balance out or even out soon, because I will have to decide either way about where I'm staying, you know, job-wise. And after a while, it's not gonna be both of them at the same time, because if I stay at the library, the other place will hire someone and, you know, I won't have things to do, which is understandable. And if I go back there, then the library is not gonna be a lot to do. So if I'm, you know, doing the Harry Potter club and stuff like that still. But we will see, we will see. I'm not saying it's for sure thing, because I will have to do the studying and taking a course if I stay in the library from September. If I leave, and if it's good for later, I still want to do it in the other place as well. So, you know, that's gonna be a lot of studying for sure. But yeah, wish me luck getting enough information so that I can make a good decision, because this is one of those decisions that will have an impact on my life for a long while, and I would obviously like to make a good decision. So wish me luck. But yeah, I think that's all. I still watch you guys, by the way, if you're still here and you know I've subscribed to your channel. I still watch you guys. It's just that I might not comment because it's just playing when I'm working and I don't have time to actually go and comment. But I'm silently keeping track of you guys, not in a stalkerish bad way. It's just that, you know, I still care about all of you. So I'm not as in front of that I was, but you know, I'm still here. So thank you for so much for watching and for caring. And yeah, hopefully I'm gonna be coming out with, you know, better ideas for videos soon, because I know it's not as exciting as I want them to be. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next one. Bye.